What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new episode of Mostly Wrong Opinions. I am Tyrone. That is Devin. Wait! Like that! Before you go and hunt everybody just because you're from outer space and you think you can do something, hit that subscribe button right down there. All right? It really does help out the channel. Now, what we're about to get into is a Hulu original. It's called Prey.
Why do you want to hunt? Because you all think that I can't.
I hadn't seen Predator in a million years since I was like in the third grade or something.
You should have been watching that shit at third grade.
Probably not. But I hadn't seen it, and so I'm like, all I remember is Arnold Schwarzenegger was shooting guns, and there was like bullets and explosions, and Arnold lives. That's all. I was like, that's it. So I was like, okay, before I watch Prey, I gotta go back and watch the original Predator.
I did the same thing.
And as someone who is I'm not really big into Predator at all, man, I thought the original Predator was awesome. I was like, yo, this movie's great.
You son of a bitch.
But I see why this is a classic. Yeah. I looked back and the reviews at the time were kind of mixed and negative, which is a surprise. But man, I thought this was absolutely fantastic. One of the things that I liked about the original Predator was that it was very lean. The movie, the plot was pretty thin. Yeah. But they took that thin plot way further than I thought they would. And I was surprised to see that Prey was very, very similar. Yeah. Also had a very thin plot, but they did a lot with it. There was a lot more on the plate than I originally understood. Yeah. Prey, I think, is a very good prequel to the original Predator, because they are very, very similar, but they're different. They're different enough to feel incredibly distinct.
Yeah, absolutely. Because with the first Predator, you had a group of macho dudes that was in the woods.
In the jungle,
sorry. And there's reconnaissance mission, and they just had to get in and get out, but of course, hit the fan when the Predator just comes out of nowhere. And basically, the Predator is the alien, but his only purpose is to hunt. And to be to hunt, you want to hunt something that is a threat to you. Okay? But
one of the interesting things about the original Predator, which Prey did very well, was the movie is so deeply uninterested in the Predator alien. It's crazy. Like, the Predator alien is almost like a metaphor. Like, he's barely on the screen. He gets no explanation. No one explains what he's doing half the time. People are kind of just guessing. And it doesn't really matter, right? Because what it is they're being killed. They're being picked off. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, one of the things I really liked about it is instead of them trying to they're like, let's just survive the night until we get a helicopter. They're not doing that. Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, we either kill the Predator or it kills us. Let's go.
We're out of here in 5 minutes. We're not going yet. Look, the rendezvous is 10 to 12 miles away from here. You think the chopper's gonna wait?
Dylan, we make a stand now, or there would be nobody left to go to the chopper.
All our characters are extremely active. They're setting traps. They're looking for the guy. They're like, you go that way. Everyone's super, super active. They're not like, let's just hunker down and make it. And then the monster comes, like Michael Myers or something. No, they're like, let's kill him. And so you have these two forces trying to kill each other. And ironically, the funny thing about it is, I think the Predator had a good time in the original Predator hunting Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I think Arnold Schwarzenegger had a good time hunting the Predator. And so I was like, oh, okay, I can kind of see this man versus, or mono type thing going on, versus nature type. And they really took this super thin premise and took it far. They took this way further than I ever would have thought.
Now with Prey, of course, this is set back in 1719, and the indigenous Comanche tribe, and they're all Native American actors that's in this, which is awesome. And the main character, she basically wants to be this warrior like her brother was or is, and she's like, I have to go on this journey, I forgot what the name is, to be able to be a warrior where you have to make your first hunt. And
you have to prove yourself. You have to hunt something that's hunting you.
It's hunting you. But now the Predator came down there, which, by the way, this Predator looks awesome. And the reason why this Predator looks awesome to me, this Predator is within the time frame of where he's at. He looks kind of indigenous himself, with his mask being like this bone structure.
Well, see, I kind of interpreted that as the Predator wanting it to be an even fight. Like, obviously he has a freaking spaceship, right? He could just nuke him from the sky. But I think he wanted it to be even. And it seemed like the Predator came down mostly to hunt animal, and then he discovered humans. And so he started using arrows, kind of like the humans were using arrows. Like, you could tell he was in it for the sport. He was in it to enjoy himself. But one of the things that I thought was interesting about it is, just like in Predator, in the movie Prey, this movie is uninterested in the Predator. It's really mostly interested in our human characters, and I mean like characters, like actual characters. Prey had like a really good cinematographer. Like, this was a pretty film. I was like, wow, why does this look like this? This is a Predator film, and so it's shot beautifully, and the movie lingers on landscapes and faces, which is not where I thought this movie would go. I thought it would linger on gore and blood and kick-assery. Not really. It lingers on like characters, and I really enjoyed that a lot. And you never really get a good look at the Predator until late in the film. And again, that's because the film isn't really interested in the Predator. The Predator might as well be another animal. It feels almost like a metaphor.
They definitely treated it like it was another animal at the beginning.
Yeah.
Tracing his footprints, and she's saying this is not a bear that killed this animal. Who skins a snake like this? And just throw away the carcass. And speaking of carcasses, there's going to be some light spoilers. There's a part where she basically feels that she needs to go out there and hunt this thing alone. Her brother's out there trying to hunt also, but she goes past this wildebeest farm.
Are they wildebeest? They're bison.
Bison, sorry, bison, and they're all dead. They don't not use and not kill for no purpose. They love their animals, and most of their animals are spiritual animals connected to their tribes. The thing that killed it wasn't the Predator; it was some Neanderthal Frenchman.
Right, and this really works well for the Predator, because that's how the Predator also kills. Right, he doesn't just kill like randomly. He does it like almost at a form of respect for something that could actually challenge him. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's not out here just stomping on insects, right? Like there's a whole scene. I thought it was a little heavy-handed, but it worked really well. Where there's like a little bug crawling on the Predator, and the Predator didn't react, and then a mouse eats the bug, and then a snake eats the mouse, and then the Predator kills the snake, right? So it's like boom, 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 boom. I'm the top of the food chain type of thing.
Right.
But you're right. When our main character finds those dead bison, just killed and skinned for no reason, and their carcasses left out like that, like this was like a dishonorable kill. I got the feeling that the Predator wouldn't have approved of that either, right?
No.
In the original Predator, there's a scene where the Predator has Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger should be dead. But instead, the Predator, he's like, "Oh, you don't have a gun or nothing? We're gonna have a fist fight." Okay, so he takes off all his shit. There's a fist fight.
Yeah,
with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He's like, "You want to do this? We gonna do this the fair way."
The fair way, right? Which makes the Predator a really interesting movie monster, right? He's not out here just trying to kill. He's doing it for sport, right? And what's interesting is humans do it for sport too. And this film, Prey, our main character, like you said earlier, she's trying to prove herself. She's trying to prove that she is a warrior and that she can hunt something that's hunting her. And so there's a point where she realizes that the Predator won't hurt her unless she is trying to hurt it, right? She's like literally standing right next to the Predator, and the Predator's uninterested because there's no sport in it. And so there's a point where she's like, I can end this movie now. Right, I can just go home, and the movie can be done. But she's like, no, I need to prove myself, and I'm going to be an active participant in the Predator's game. And I'm going to hunt the Predator down. And I really like that a lot. That's something that's like missing from like, I never realized it was missing from like the Saw franchise, right? In Saw, there's only one guy playing a game and the other person's just trying to survive, right? The Predator's not trying to survive. Neither is his prey. They're not trying to survive. They're trying to kill each other, right? It truly is a game. And I thought that was, as someone who's not steeped in Predator lore, who doesn't know anything about Predator and really had no interest in Predator until this film, I actually thought it was really interesting, and that's a great concept.
I'm a fan of Tyrone Magnus, okay? I'm subscribed to him. After this, he probably wants to boot me. Whatever. He can boot me. This motherfucker went on his review and said he loved the movie, even that it had woke shit in it. What? And I want to choke him.
in Prey?
In Prey.
What did he say was woke?
He has a problem with this being a woman, and they're more powerful than the men that's in there. Her brother, better than her brother, and better than the group of dudes that she's with. This bravado and this macho stuff that only dudes can play in this world, and women don't have the capacity to be able to get to have these strengths and have these things that's over men is bullshit.
I didn't see anything woke in Prey. What the heck?
Ain't nothing woke about this thing. It's just
he doesn't. People don't like, again, and yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why I'm not big into Tyrone Magnus. Is like people don't realize like how much they're parroting. I don't know, like white supremacist talking points, dude. Like,
it is, man.
Chill
Go ahead
out.
and say that shit.
So this kind of thing never really bothers me that much. Only because I feel like it reflects more negatively on people who hold these views. Like for me, I feel like for you to find anything woke or whatever in Prey, I feel like you gotta be looking for it. And if you're looking for it, you probably got a chip in your shoulder. You probably got an issue. And man, there's plenty of people you can go out there and talk to solve that issue. I'm not one of them. I'm not your psychiatrist.
Me neither, man. But
like that.
You know.
So I'm not interested in psychoanalyzing him. But yeah, people have problems like that. Here's the thing: they're gonna have problems either way. It would not matter if she was weak or whether she was strong. It's the fact that she exists that some people don't like. They just don't like that there are like main characters who are not white and male. Even I feel like Predator kind of made a commentary on some of that machismo because it didn't help nobody, did it? Everyone got roasted except for Arnold Schwarzenegger. And even though he survived, he looked like he was traumatized.
He was traumatized at the end.
I don't think he's okay. I don't think that dude's all right.
It would be so good to see, what else happened to him. They probably talked about it in Predator 2. I just can't rember. With
I don't know. I'm okay. I'm okay imagining he's I don't know, some sort of mute. He's half insane now. I'm okay with that. But yeah, all that machismo did nothing.
Like, I told them all to get to the chopper, but they didn't listen.
Right. Yeah, almost all his catchphrases are in Predator too, man.
It wasn't Predator. Get to the chopper. You son of a bitch.
You're one ugly motherfucker. Stick around.
Yeah, stick around. But Prey didn't have none of that stuff.
No, they're very different movies and yet very similar at the same time. Similar enough that I can see like a great little through line. Prey is like a modern film. Predator is, the 80s, again, like Ronald Reagan is like jumping at you through the screen and that one, so. But hey, if you don't like the movie because it's got a female protagonist, boy, you gotta miss out on a lot of great movies, man. That's a shame. But hey, more for me. If you wanna fill your heart with hate and be frustrated like that, fine. I'm eating good over here, so you can go over there and enjoy yourself.
I just want stories, dude. And anybody else that thinks like Tyrone Magnus, I love you, brother. I'm a Tyrone just like you. But anyone who thinks like that is poisonous to the world. But it boils down to Prey was a good movie, period. Okay?
Yeah, I really enjoy Prey. And I really enjoy Predator too. The Predator's never portrayed as evil. As a matter of fact, quite the opposite. He's very, very fair. He's interested in an even fight. He, again, like I said, he can nuke everybody from the sky. If he was evil, but this seems to be something that they like to do for fun. And I like that the movie kind of these movies explain why each predator looks different. It's because they're different people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a different guy. So this predator is much leaner and taller than the one in the original Predator. His dreadlocks or whatever those are. The appendages off his head are thinner and longer. And he acts differently. So I like that a lot. That's a very interesting characterization for like a movie monster. And they kind of had a fake out too, because she was stuck in the mud at one point and she gets covered in the mud. And I'm like,
that's what I thought too.
Predator. Okay. And then she just washes it off and moves on. And I'm like, so this isn't going to be, no? Okay. And so I thought that was a funny little callback.
That was a funny little callback. And that was the same thing that you would talk about like Top Gun. They're like you put something in here that people recognize, but you just move on.
Yeah, it's like we're doing something different. Yeah, it's like I know you know this, but no, we're doing. I got a better idea, you know. And then it ends up with the little medicinal herb she takes, which makes her body temperature drop. Like I thought it was great. It was really cool. It's interesting because when Disney bought Fox, people were nervous about Predator, and I think there's still a little bit of awkwardness here with how does Disney produce a Predator film, right? which is what they did, right? Yeah. But they send it to Hulu, which is an app that is kind of like in the middle of nowhere. Like it seems to have no identity at all. But maybe this is a good omen for the future. So maybe they can produce some of their harder edge films under 20th Century Studios and release them on Hulu. Maybe that'll give Hulu some sort of personality. I don't know. So I'm happy to see that this franchise isn't dead. I know a lot of people thought it would be dead when Disney bought it, and I think it's right now it's in a great spot.
We can talk a little bit about Disney real quick, because I think that Disney is going to be taking the turn. They're taking the turn because if you haven't noticed, recently they put on Disney Plus Logan and Deadpool. So and they're starting to put some rated R products on there. And
I feel like if Disney were smart, this would be a really good move. Now that HBO Max is imploding, so they could. Well, yeah, I even heard because HBO has been bought by Discovery, so Discovery it's called Warner Brothers Discovery, and Discovery wants to put their stuff on HBO Max, remove some of the HBO Max stuff. That's why Batgirl got canceled and stuff like that. And so now they want to put more unscripted programming on HBO Max, which is annoying because HBO Max was the one streaming service that was actually pretty good. So now they're wrecking it. So if Disney were smart, man, they would fill that gap. But I do think this might be a good stepping stone for building Hulu into something more watchable.
Let's go ahead and get into our rating of Prey. With this being a good, refreshing story told through the eyes of indigenous people, is revolving around the Predator. Ain't nothing has been as good or even close to the first Predator until now. I'm gonna have to give this film a B+. I like Prey, I do, and I think I will watch it again.
I feel like we've been on a roll, man. I'm giving this one a B+ as well. I thought this was really good. This movie was not on my radar. I had no interest in watching it.
When I recommended, he was like, "What's that?"
Yeah, didn't even know what it was. And same with Predator. I was never interested in particularly watching the original Predator. I went back and watched that. Pleasantly surprised. Watched this. Very surprised. So I really like this a lot. And I do recommend it as well. I thought this was a very good movie. Very lean. The exact opposite of Bullet Train. Bullet Train was overstuffed and people were talking, saying all kind of bullshit. Both Predator and Prey are damn near silent. Like they don't say anything. Like you just kind of see people like stalking through the forest or stalking through the woods or
the tension,
plains or something. Yeah, you can really feel it. It's like thick and like so that kind of stuff, that kind of drama, completely missing from Bullet Train. It was just too much like gabbing and talking and all that bullshit. Both Predator and Prey were like lean, like it was like almost cut down to the bone. I really enjoyed that.
You notice both of those films, the Predator film and Prey, were an hour and 45 minutes. Both of them spot on.
Oh, were they? Yeah. I thought Prey was 2 hours, but maybe that's might just been the credits.
Hour and 45 minutes.
Okay, I'll be honest though, Prey felt longer than Predator. Predator felt like it flew. It was like, but Prey took moments to like pause so you can look at these landscapes and stuff like that. Predator was like, he was like, it was really going. You know? Exactly.
I love that music, man.
Yeah,
I love that
great.
music. But yeah, I gave this movie a B+. Devin gave this movie a B+. We do recommend you see this on Hulu. Go ahead, it's right there if you have the app. That is our review and rating for Prey. Yo, sup? Thank you for clicking on this video. Yeah, yo, what's up? If you can just do us a favor, please hit that subscribe button right down there. You know, it's big and red. And we really do appreciate that. If you liked our review for this film, hit that thumbs up. It really does help out the channel. Or you hit the thumbs down, whichever one you do choose. It is your opinion, but just remember one thing. It is mostly wrong. See you guys in another video.